Hey, how's it going? Today I am talking about to run or not to run during race week.
This is Running to the Castle, a podcast for injury-prone Run Disney runners on a journey to running magical miles. Join me, Dr. Allie, as I share the secrets I've gathered as a runner, doctor of physical therapy, and coach. You'll learn the exact ways I get my clients to the castle strong without feeling broken or held together with KT tape as they cross the finish line.
So, it's race week. That's why you're listening to this. Should you be running? So, I will answer this question based on somebody who is prone to injuries. I see it often in Facebook groups. That's what made me think about this, really. And somebody said, am I screwed? I have a half marathon in a week and I can't run at all this week. And I don't remember if the situation was there was no time, travel, sickness, whatever it was. And actually, not being able to run race week is probably the best week to not be able to run. Obviously, if you need to run on the day of the race, but leading up to it, let's say you are doing dopey, for example. And so that means you have a 5K on Thursday, a 10K on Friday, a half marathon on Saturday, and a full marathon on Sunday. Those days leading up to the race, if you can't run, that's no problem. Even if you're just doing the marathon, and I use that loosely, I did, the quotes with my fingers, because I feel like only at Disney do you say, oh, I'm just doing the marathon. I'm just doing the half marathon, as opposed to, you're doing the challenge, dopey, goofy, fairy tale princess for princess weekend and so on and so forth. I use that only jokingly, loosely, just because it's never just. A half marathon is a big deal. A marathon is a big deal. 10 miles is a big deal. 10K is a big deal. 5K is a big deal, okay? It's never just, alas. Let's move on. So, can you run race week? Sure. Do you have to? No. And if you are injury prone, pushing those final few days and miles can actually just push you over the edge. So, conserving your energy for the race that race week is probably the best thing for you. Now, I don't take this that I'm saying just lay around like a slug. No, none of us are slugs in the Run Disney world. You're still active. You're going out, you have all of your activities you have to do with your kids, or you're getting ready to travel to race weekend because it's not necessarily a local race for you. I live in Las Vegas, so if I want to do any of the Disney races, Disneyland in California, I have to travel there. Disney World, I have to travel there. So you are, going to the store and going shopping and cleaning your house and doing your laundry. And, you're not sitting on the couch eating bonbons, just flipping through the Disney Channel, even if we all want to be. But you're still active, you're doing some things. You can go for nice walks if you want. Maybe you can't physically run because your knee hurts and you want to conserve how your knee is feeling for race day. So go on some walks. One thing you definitely don't want to do is you don't want to push it. So you don't want to run harder and faster and longer race week if you haven't been able to do your longest run yet. Let's say you are doing dopey. So for the marathon, the longest run would be 20 miles if you're following one of my training plans. That 20 miler should not be done race week. That is too much race week. You should not be trying to see if you can set a new PR on even a short run. If you're going to run, make it easy peasy lemon squeezy. Do something short, something light, and something easy. Keep it light, easy, breezy. But if you can't, not only is it not the end of the world, it's probably better for you. Think about it like this. Think about it like a bow and arrow. So this is how I talk about tapering for race day, is a bow and arrow. So with a bow and arrow, you have to pull it back to some degree in order to let it fly far and long, okay? If you pull it back a little bit, meaning you taper a little bit, it doesn't really go anywhere. It flops right in front of you. If you pull it back too far and you taper too much, you may break the system. If you pull it back just enough, your arrow flies far and long. Okay? So that 20 miler, that longest run, needs to be done at the right time frame, about 3 weeks before your marathon. So doing it the week of marathon is pushing it. It's too close, it's too soon. It's too close to race day. But you can do shorter, easy runs that week if you want. But what you're doing when you do that taper and when you do it right is you are conserving your energy, so your body is holding on to that energy in preparation for race day. So I'm a big proponent of, if you can't run race week, no problem. If you want to do something short and sweet and easy, by all means do it. And I'm talking something like 2.5 miles, really no matter what race you're running, and keep it light. Just keep your legs loose and things ready for race day.
Hey, can I ask a quick favor? If you're enjoying this podcast, would you take 20 seconds to leave a rating and review? Leaving a rating and a review helps other runners find this podcast because the platform you're listening to this on will start suggesting it to runners like you. All it takes is 20 seconds. Thank you so much for supporting this podcast. As always, thanks so much for listening. That's all for now. Talk to you soon.